System unstable. Hind foot impact triggers sediment failure at the shoreline boundary. Tail counterswing engages. Torso mass lags. Liquefied mud collapses under load. Inhalation expands the rib cage. Metatarsals sink. Substrate shear increases rapidly. Body tilts 20 degrees. One limb sinks. Buoyancy disrupts ground support. Locomotion resumes slowly. Wet clay compresses. Thigh muscles tighten under mass. Neck alignment shifts. Snout lowers. Sediment deforms into a shallow crater. Left limb lifts. Water sheets off the sail. Mud suction releases abruptly. Right foot anchors. Rim fractures propagate. Microslides spill into the footprint. Tail oscillates laterally. Surface ripples expand. Balance corrections remain continuous. Thorax expands again. Clay yields further. Load transfer delays through the torso. Toes spread wider. Pressure distributes. Silt flows back into the track. Head stays level. Torso rolls slightly. Uneven settling drives lateral sway. Tail base tenses. Heel shifts stones. Water pulses outward from contact. Forelimbs hover. Center of mass shifts. Bank shear strength declines fast. Motion pauses. Limb continues sinking. Support surface remains unstable beneath. Gait speed increases. Impacts intensify. Mud spray reaches the lower abdomen. Forward load transfers. 4 claws press down. Upper sediment layer shears cleanly. Spines sway under torque. Torso adjusts. Surface water undulates around mass. Knee locks briefly. Joint strain rises. Trapped gas vents through mud. Exhalation vents moisture. Ripples collide. Shoreline edge destabilizes further. Right limb enters deeper water. Buoyancy rises. Vertical ground force drops. Torso inertia carries forward, supporting foot slips laterally. Traction fails. Spine row sways. Bank material collapses. Shallow water fills the breach. Diaphragm contracts. Chest vibration increases. Suspended silt thickens around legs. Body leans toward channel. Slope begins crumbling. Support margin narrows. Limb retracts slowly. Vacuum pockets collapse. Mud seal breaks with force. Center of mass lowers. Water reaches mid-thigh. Drag rises on movement. Neck rotates slightly. Peat compresses. Bearing capacity decreases beneath hips. Foot loads buried root. Structure fractures. Silt plume hides contact point. Sway amplitude increases. Water floods the void. Footing geometry changes. Right leg sinks past ankle. Subsand liquefies. Stability threshold approaches. Tail snaps laterally. Torso drift counters. Mudbank edge shears away. Neck tendons tense. Head stabilizes. Floodwater spins into the crater. Retraction creates vacuum delay. Mud seal ruptures. Silt drains off claws. 4 claws touch briefly. Peat slides. Contact friction drops immediately. Lungs expand widely. Mist swirls. Airflow shifts across wet surfaces. Foot hits unstable sand. Grains flow outward. Base support collapses instantly. Pelvis tilts, muscles quiver. Deep compression vents gas from sediment. Tail drags through water. Wake turbulence forms. Floating debris pulls inward. Body halts. Torso momentum continues. Shoreline shelf fractures under pressure. Hind limb sinks mid-tibia. Mud flows like fluid. Resistance spikes sharply. Claws dig for traction. Silt slides under digits. Friction collapses. Foot kicks violently. Mud particles arc outward. Load recovery fails again. Tilt increases. Wind pushes spines. Lateral torque adds to imbalance. Knee flex reaches limit. Footprint basin rotates. Shear failure accelerates. Snout dips. Splashback strikes the jaw. Sensory surfaces remain coated. Torso rotates to reverse. Tracks merge. Trench liquefaction spreads outward. Tail enters deeper pool. Buoyancy shifts rearward. Front sinks deeper. Exhalation clears nostrils. Fog thickens. Surface visibility drops quickly. Trapped leg pivots. Heel penetrates buried wood. Resistance spikes abruptly. Shoulder muscles contract. Step prepares. Water rises around the knee. Tilt reaches 22 degrees. Tail thrashes. Mud becomes flowing slurry. Forelimbs contact mud. Sink immediately. Support contribution approaches zero. Neck curves. Skull mass recenters. Erosion fractures spread from feet. Hip skin tension rises. Cracks widen. Support limb load concentrates. Grinding step advances. Substrate compresses. Deep rumble signals continuing failure. Water streams off the sail. Droplets strike mud. Impacts scatter outward. Head aligns toward firmer ground. Foreground sediment continues collapsing steadily. Limb tremors appear. Muscle pulses propagate. Ground resonance responds beneath. Mass shifts rearward. Tail fully submerges. Hydrostatic lift increases slightly. Right hip drops sharply. Liquefaction opens below. Body stability degrades. Tail strikes mud bank. Fragments scatter. Counterbalance impulse interrupts the roll. Chest contacts water briefly. Bow wave forms. Belly scales drag across. Claws rake through clay. Grooves open. Water fills them immediately. Neck extends forward. Vertebrae lock. Skull acts as counterweight lever. Forceful exhale expels. Vapor condenses. Airflow displaces surface fog. Limb motion triggers sediment slide. Shoreline shelf collapses toward deeper water. Spines vibrate under stress. Wind adds torque. Balance corrections intensify. Leg fully submerged. Silt behaves like quicksand. Traction approaches zero. Pelvis rotates. Load shifts to tail base. Sinking depth increases. Foot strikes buried rock. Shock transmits upward. Torso lag follows impact. Inner eyelid closes. Mud strikes scales. Protection reduces abrasion damage. Movement slows to crawl. Step frequency drops. Ground vibration diminishes. Abdomen lowers onto firmer shoal. Mud deforms slowly under pressure. Weight spreads across limbs, belly, tail. Equilibrium holds temporarily. Locomotion stops. Ribcage rises and falls. Breathing remains controlled. Tail rests in current. Sediment plume settles. Water clarity returns. Tremors cease. Joints lock. Mud hardens gradually under static load. Head rotates slowly. Shoreline scanned. Small stones slide into tracks. Skin relaxes over ribs. Surface tension reforms on surrounding pools. Foot remains embedded. Suction persists. Biology and sediment remain coupled. System holds stationary. Stability remains conditional. Structural margin remains narrow.